So today is Friday. Yesterday there was not too much work after lunch, and so 2:30 I'm back at the yard, and my dispatcher says, well, I go in because he was on lunch. I hate to disturb him, but nobody else knew what to do, so I go in and I say, hey, I'm sorry, what are we doing? And he says, well, there should be 2 pickup loads basically for a pickup truck, and that's what I'm driving now, F350. He says, let's preload 2 pickup trucks. He says there's one for Cochrane, you know, nice road trip, and he says another one is for Seaton, like the very bottom of Calgary, pretty much the same distance, except one is a nice drive in the country towards the mountains. I'm talking about Cochrane. And he says, you preload the Cochrane truck and ask the other driver to preload the Seaton load. And I said, okay. And so I asked one of the ladies at the counter to print out the paperwork, because it was not even printed out, you know, the delivery slip. And I give the other paperwork to the other driver, and he's like, why are you going to Cochrane? I said, well, that's what the dispatcher said, you know. And then I look at the paperwork. The Cochrane load is a tiny load. It's like 2 frames. The decks are 5 feet long, and there's only 2 of them. 2 braces, also 5 feet long, and I think 4 casters or wheels. Basically, it's like child's play, you know. But the other guy, the one that goes to Cochrane, is like 6 frames, a bunch of decks, and they all 10 feet long, and it was like 7 decks. And so the other driver thought that I was kind of like cheating, you know, that I didn't want to do a heavy load. I said, well, I had no idea which one had what, you know. I said, all I know is that the boss said, I'm going to Cochrane, you're going to Seaton. So like, what's the freaking problem, you know? And so anyway, and today it's cold. It's like -1, so 30 F, and there was a bit of snow on the ground. So I show up for work, clock in, and then go see my dispatch, and I say, okay, am I still going to Cochrane? I don't know why I asked that, but you know, something was nagging inside, because it's a nice drive, you know, it's very light load. And to my surprise, he says, no, you're going to Seaton, I'm going to Cochrane. What? He says, the other driver did not show up. I said, are you kidding? He says, no, he called in earlier, said that he's feeling sick, he's not coming in. Can you believe this? So the guy, I guess, I'm pretty sure he did it just to piss us off, you know. So he did all the work. He preloaded this massive load of scaffolding on this truck, and of course the boss doesn't want to deal with that one, so because it's too much work. So he's taking the light load to Cochrane, and now I'm on bypass 201 going to the bottom of Calgary, to that Marina Island, basically a man-made island. They created a little lake, and they built a little island in the middle of it, and they have maybe, I don't know, 20 houses over there. Probably each one is a few $1,000,000 bucks, and one of them needs some drywall. And so our customer requested this shit ton of scaffolding, which I'm carrying in my bed behind me there. I can see it in the mirror. I keep checking in case it falls off, because then I will have to go back and load more stuff. But anyway, tried to do Uber yesterday. Just had one guy, yeah, made $11 and I went like 6 kilometers west, and there was nothing there. I just returned, and I was home around 4:30. For some reason it was dead. I think I should start, you know, doing more late night driving with Uber, because 3-4 p.m. it's just like, for example, today, Friday, right? I was never lucky on Fridays, because again, I tried after work, like 5 p.m., you know, 5:30, and there's nothing. People are still at work, right? And then Friday, when everybody goes to bars, you know, they stay in the bars probably until what, like 8, 9, right? But I don't want to deal with drunk people, but drunk people are supposed to tip better because they don't care about money, right? I don't know. But anyway, so I checked Uber prognosis for tonight, and it shows super busy in downtown from like 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. all the way till 3 a.m. You know, and so all last week and this week I've been lazy, didn't go to the gym once, so I definitely want to go today. And so that's the plan, is to go to the gym. I brought my t-shirt, I brought my gloves that I use for dumbbells and barbells. I brought my boots, because you cannot wear sneakers, you know, they don't allow street footwear, so you have to pretend. So I put on my hiking boots and I bring in my sneakers in my hand, and then I put them on. So this way they think that the sneakers are for the gym only. Basically hacking the system with these sneakers. And then I'm gonna go home, have a quick meal, and see what happens with Uber. Well, today was our payday, and the money is already in the account. I checked my bank account. Look at this guy. The money is there. This guy is driving in the middle of the lane or something. All I could see was one headlight, and I'm like, what the heck? People are in such a rush, like what the, like that guy that was driving very fast. Where, how far do you think he'll go? There's like, I can see tail lights all the way till Saskatchewan from here. Like, unless you do this, you know, like between cars. Like this morning, I was driving like slowly because I was in a Durango. So I'm trying to, I don't want to push the gas too hard, because right away I see my instant fuel economy goes in the toilet, right? So I'm driving slow, gradually, you know, accelerating, and all of a sudden there's a guy like, you know, like probably doing like 90 kilometers an hour in a 70 zone, and he's trying to get into the left lane to turn to Starbucks over there, and passes me, goes behind the other guy that doesn't like that the other guy is too slow. He goes to the right and then moves 3 lanes to the left in the far left lane, and of course the light is red, and he stops in the light, at the light, waiting for the green arrow, and I just roll towards him, and I stop there, and we're sitting at the same red light. Just people are stupid, you know. There's no speed. It's a waste of time and resources, and it's dangerous to do this when all you have is lights, right? It's like, what's the point? You beat somebody to the next light, you know? So anyway, so this is gonna be see, it's already before it was, because now we are on what, winter time, right? We changed the clock. So before it was like, I'm talking summer. In the summer, the sunrise was around what, like 4:30, 5 a.m. Now it's staying like this until 8 or something. So that's why I'm bringing to work my head flashlight. Very handy, like this thing over here. It has strap. You put it on your head, and you can adjust the angle of the light. It's very bright, you know, perfect for the paperwork. So like, I'm doing 110. The speed limit is 100. How fast do you think that guy is going? I would say 130, judging by the rate that he moves away. And this area is often patrolled by unmarked police cars. I saw a Ford pickup truck. A guy stopped somebody with lights, you know, so I know it's a cop, right? I saw a Ford Explorer, kind of like all gray or all black. And again, you can tell them most of the time they have steel wheels, but that Ford pickup truck, it was like a personal vehicle, you know. It had aluminum wheels. It looked like didn't look like a police at all, unless you close behind. If you're in the back behind this guy, you will see 4 square lights in his on his back window. You know, at the very top they have these lights, so when he starts his you know, disco music, the lights in the back flash, right? And so you can see those lights through the back window. That's one thing they cannot hide, because they used to have antennas. There was an easy tell. They would have a bunch of antennas on the roof, right? Like unmarked vehicle, bunch of tall antennas. Not anymore. So now they use the same, you know, low profile antennas we have, which are like this tall, and they look like a little what do you call it, like chachalok, you know, like a cock has on top of his head, he has a little bulb, you know. And so instead of those tall ones they used before, now they have a couple of these, and it's hard to see them because they're all black, especially if the vehicle is black, right? So they're hiding. But one thing they cannot hide are those lights in the back. They all have them. The wheels can be regular wheels. The license plate is a regular license plate. But of course the guy inside, you know, if you drive next to him, you will see the guy inside is wearing a police uniform. That's one thing, you know. I wonder why they don't, if they're driving an unmarked vehicle, why they not wearing unmarked clothes, you know. But then the guy stops you. How do you know he's a cop, right? Maybe he's just a robber trying to rob you, you know. Yeah, not a very good weather today, so it's kind of like raining, but I think later it might turn to snow. The temperature now is 0 Celsius, which is 32 F, and I still have 17 kilometers or 10 miles to go, 10 and a half miles. So the total run was, from the start, was 50 kilometers, 30 miles. So it's pretty much same as to Cochrane, right? Except Cochrane is you're going west on a nice Highway 1 or 1A, depending which part of Cochrane you go to. and here I'm just on the bypass going south on the east side of Calgary. Oh, and another thing, that truck that goes to Corcoran that I preloaded,
Take exit 96 onto 88th Street South.
it's our newer Ram 3500, and that one has a cruise control. None of these Fords, because they're much older, they don't have any cruise control. I like using cruise control, you know, especially when you drive like for 30-40 minutes. Well, of course not in a busy traffic like this, but would be nice if it had adaptive cruise control, you know. I didn't like that one before, but my Durango has it, my Compass has it. I use it sometimes, you know. It's you can adjust the distance that it'll keep you away from the vehicle in the front. Though the problem is, if somebody jumps in front of you and slows down, this thing just hits the brakes, you know. And so you have to look forward, and if you want to stay in the same speed, you want to move to the lane where there's nobody in front of you. Otherwise, that's why it's called adaptive, right? So it'll slow down. Yeah, 110 is okay here, like 10 kilometers over, which is 6 miles. Yeah, the other day there was a cop sitting on the shoulder. I was going that way, north. That unmarked truck. And I think I was in a Freightliner. In that one, I like to do just 5 kilometers over. So the limit is 100. I set my cruise at 105. So 64 miles per hour. And I passed him. I didn't even bother reducing the speed. So I passed him at 105. He didn't say anything. Did not move. Alright, so now we are 6 kilometers away from... See, the guy has no lights. Alright, another racer. I'm afraid to change lanes. Everything is glittering, you know, like hard to see with all this slick surfaces. Like, is there? Well, yeah, there's a guy there. Traffic on the other side, man. Well, at least I know what I'm doing after this. Oh yeah, there's also a pickup. So after I drop off all this scaffolding, I have a pickup slip. I think it's also scaffolding, but didn't seem like much. But then yesterday I also, after we preloaded these pickup trucks, I also preloaded my Freightliner
In 2 kilometers, take exit 96 onto 88th
with a nice RT boom lift. And I was surprised to see they did not put the truck inside. Normally that's what they do when it's preloaded with some machine. So my truck was outside, but they plugged in the machine because we have electric cables everywhere, so they plugged it in so that it doesn't, so it stays fully charged, because that one is a hybrid. It has an electric engine and it has a diesel engine, and the diesel engine charges the battery for the electric operation. So sometimes, let's say you're working inside some big warehouse, you can shut off the diesel engine and just use the electric, so that there's no exhaust, you know.
Take exit 96 onto
And of course no noise. But then you have to be careful. If you discharge the battery, that's it, the machine is dead. You won't be able to start the diesel engine, because it's the same battery that
In about 1 kilometer, keep left onto 88th Street South.
yeah, also powers the starter. And that's it. So we're leaving the bypass, going into the field here.
Use the left 2 lanes to keep left onto 88th Street South.
Yeah, now I'm going straight south. North is behind my back. And here there's like a 2-kilometer stretch.
Keep left.
And there's no sidewalks. There's houses on the right side, but they're behind the fence.
In
And for
about
some,
2.5 kilometers, turn right onto Rangeview Boulevard Southeast.
so there's no bike pathways. And yet the speed, first it was 80 kilometers an hour. Now I see the sign on the right says 60 ahead. Like, why 60? Like I said, no houses, exposed, like no children playing, no people walking. It's the middle of nowhere, right? There's a field, and it's a divided 2 lanes here, 2 lanes on the other side. And of course, you see how people are driving. So that guy is probably doing 100. You see houses behind the fence. No sidewalk, it's just grass over here. So nobody can walk here. Like, why are we... I'm telling you, quite a few, like I mentioned before, quite a few traffic engineering solutions are so stupid, you know, in Calgary. So this is all new. Mahogany. All new well, this was completed
Use the
probably
right lane to turn onto Rangeview Boulevard Southeast.
a few years ago. See cows over there on the left? That's somebody's farm. And now we're at 50 kilometers maximum. Nobody knows why. No sidewalk. No bike pathways. Okay, here the sidewalk starts. See on the right? And here you have, well, still
Turn right onto Mercado Street Southeast.
Still all the houses are behind the fence, but at least you have a sidewalk, so I understand. So there can be people walking, right? So you don't want to be speeding over here like that guy in a white Tundra, license plate cannot see. Oh wow, look at this, beautiful. They're getting ready for Christmas. Look at the trees.
Meters, turn right onto Mercado Street Southeast.
Cool. Am I turning here? Usually I turn here. something new. Usually I don't come like this, but
Turn right onto Mercado Street southeast.
I guess these are new roads here. It's all empty. They prepared the land with those scrapers and dozers, and there's gonna be a new community here.
At the roundabout, take the second exit onto Marine Drive southeast. Then take the first left onto Marina Lake.
Okay, now I think I recognize this. I recognize that structure over there. Some kind of tanks with pipes coming out of the top.
Turn left onto Marina Lake. Then turn right onto Marina Grove southeast.
Yeah, usually I come from this direction, past these tanks. Yeah, from here I already know the
Turn
road.
right onto Marina Grove southeast. Then take the first left.
I want to show you guys the entrance to that Marina Island. So yeah, this is Mahogany Haven. That's what this sign says.
Turn left. Then turn left onto Marina Landing southeast.
These are show homes over here. You can stop by and go use the washroom. If somebody's inside.
Go past the street. Then turn left onto Marina Landing southeast.
Wow, look at the houses over here.
Turn left onto Marina Landing southeast. Then take the first right onto Marina Island southeast.
Wow, look at this one. This is a freaking castle.
Turn right onto Marina Island southeast. Then take the first left.
And now we entering the Marina Island. So they have this gate over here. Look at this. South Island at Mahogany. So I'm guessing this will be closed when it's all finished. So you see there's it's not like a real island. I'm pretty sure it's artificial, but they have docks, so you can have a boat. It's not a very big lake, but it's all around this area. So this is
Then arrive at your destination.
so now we are on the Marina Island, and that's all it is. It's basically one street, and it's called Marina Island, and then you have house numbers. I'm guessing mine is somewhere there, and they're all like huge houses. Well, at least I see there's lots of parking. I just need to find my house. All right, so let me check the paperwork. I think I need I know the number I need. And in case you ever wondered what a shitload of scaffolding looks like, that's what it is. So I have a bunch of decks, braces, half frames and full frames. So 6 full frames, and then I have 8 casters. So found my building. At least there's nobody here. Normally you cannot find parking, so at least I found parking and I'm able to come close. Just gonna drop everything into this garage over here. Well, in case you're wondering, how long does it take to unload a shit ton of scaffolding, and that's a technical term. Well, the scientific answer is 14 minutes. And 2 of those minutes I spent trying to lift the tarp. And thankfully, because you know it's all nailed to the sides, And thankfully there was some assembled scaffolding already inside, so I used that thing. I dragged it because it has wheels, and I put the corner of the top on top of that scaffolding section, which created a opening for me. Otherwise you'd have to fight that, and that top is dirty, but they put those they put that in because there's no door for that garage yet.
Turn right, then take the first left onto Mahogany Boulevard Southeast.
I know that White House, we delivered something there. Now look at this thing. Sold. This is like a freaking church. Dual garage, no, like triple garage. Like the first one is for 2 cars, and then there's a small one, I'm guessing for bicycles and a roller skates or something. I don't know. Like, people are just don't know what to do with their money. And then you see here, so each house, the backyard is on the water, but it's very narrow. Like, look at this. The bridge is like, I don't know, 15 meters wide, 45 feet.
Turn left onto Mahogany Boulevard Southeast, then turn right onto Marina Grove Southeast.
Yeah, but it's nice. I'm guessing if they put fish in there, you can probably do some fishing right from your balcony in the back there. Oh, this guy is, what's he doing? He planting some trees. So construction, and more construction, especially if you have like a few $1,000,000 bucks. No, but
right onto Marina Grove Southeast.
No, but these definitely look nice. Like, look at that. Holy. Oh, this guy is poor. He only has a double garage. See, that one, that's how you do it. Triple garage. No, the other one is very small. I don't know if you can
pass the street.
See, like,
then turn right.
Probably that's like maybe a storage or something. I don't know, because it's pretty narrow for a car. But all these houses seem to have it.
Then take the first left onto Marina Lake.
See, here already people occupied these. But yeah, this black one looks nice. Or rather, what is it? Dark brown? Show home.
Turn left onto Marina Lake. Then turn right onto Marine Drive Southeast.
So basically you go in there and they show you all these designs, and you choose what you want your house to look like, and boom, probably in 6 months,
right onto Marine Drive Southeast.
I'm guessing
roundabout, take the first exit onto Mercado Street Southeast.
6-8 months and you are in business. And this guy, it's just a farm. I've been coming here for a long time, and it has cows. Cows, like the nice smell of shit in the air, like the real farm experience. Okay, so basically now I'm done with the delivery, and I checked my pickup, and it's in the area called Corner Glen, which is just a couple of blocks away from Skyview Ranch, where I live. It's the new community right next to the 201, like this.
350 meters. Turn left onto Rangeview Boulevard Southeast.
So basically they used up all the land up to the bypass. There's nowhere to go because there's a magistral freeway, and there's a huge fence, yeah, like a wall to reduce the noise from vehicles.
Turn left onto Rangeview Boulevard Southeast.
And now it says 35 clicks, so 20 miles. Not as bad as this because I'm going straight north, back on the same bypass, but now we'll be on the east side going north. And you see they're building some multi-apartment buildings here. How many floors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 floors. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, actually 6. But the first floor probably will be Western Star with some weird lowboy trailer. So sometimes what they do is they rent the ground floor to businesses, you know, like stores or shops, as they say in English, in England. Man, what is this? Arbat? Look at the traffic here. And of course that guy is turning. You couldn't go straight, could you? You had to turn here. Well, soon they will have to put up a light in here. A set of lights.
In 1.3 kilometers, turn left to merge onto Highway 201 South.
And that's it. So the hard work is done. And I didn't check where the boom lift is going. But I'm pretty sure that will be my next trip. But imagine, the dispatcher now is driving the truck.
1 kilometer, turn left to merge onto Highway 201 South.
Because we are one driver short, and that probably created a chaos. Like, it's funny, in all the time I worked here at this company, I did not miss a single day. This guy who was supposed to drive this truck, I don't know, every month or so he's calling in sick. And he's probably like 35 years old. I don't know. But he has a family. He has family, he has kids. You know, I have nobody, right? But I'm probably the most, like, honestly, like, no BS, I'm the most reliable worker they have. And I have class 1 license. I can drive anything. And I'm very good with machines now. Like, you know, when I started, I had some issues. You know, I had to ask for help. You know, like, even those scissor lifts, you know, like, they seem straightforward, but if you don't know, for example, that they go into sleep or into this inactive mode after like 15-20 seconds. Yeah, you see? Another farm over here, lots of cows. So this would take millions of dollars to kick this guy out from here. But these people will not be super happy to watch cows, you know, have sex in the field, you know. Or maybe they will, I don't know. Maybe some people have a twisted sense of humor, you know. But yeah, this is huge property. But this guy will be rich when they decide, when somebody offers him enough money to get lost so they can build more condos over here. Then he can sell all his cows and retire to British Columbia. Normally I would say Florida, but since now we have a tense, strained relationship with the US, most Canadians choose not to visit US. I just read the story the other day online that US travel industry lost some crazy number, like $6 billion, because Canadians are kind of like boycotting the US. Like normally, you know, like when it's Christmas time coming up, right, Thanksgiving, there'll be crowds of Canadians going to the States, especially to warmer parts, you know, like Arizona, Texas, Florida. Like when it's cold here, lots of retirees, they head over there. But not now. I think now they're going to, you know, like British Columbia is nice and is as beautiful as, son of a gun, a cop was sitting there, you see? Well, thankfully I was doing 70 kilometers an hour. Here the speed limit is 80. See, these guys are everywhere. And this is nice. You see, on the way back, you don't have to take an exit. That road turns right into the ramp. And now we're going north on 201. You know, all you gotta do is just change lanes, because this one is gonna end or exit. You see, now I'm in lane 3. Perfect.
For about 26 kilometers, continue straight.
And I'm counting from the left. As I always said, when you go through a city like in the States, if you're in lane 4 from the left, see, like this sign on the right, lane ends. So the very rare occasion when you have 4 lanes all the time. Normally it's 3 or 2, right? And so if you're in that lane, number 4 from the left, sooner or later it'll end. You see, so now I'm in the curb lane. Beautiful. Yeah, so I forgot where that boom lift is going with the Freightliner. I hope it's going somewhere far, you know. I like driving away from Calgary. Actually, this guy, we were doing a load of scaffolding yesterday together, the guy who didn't show up today, and they sent us to pick up a very large load of scaffolding. It was much bigger than what I just delivered, so they got me as a helper, and he was driving, and he was telling me a story how he delivered some ladders, you know, those extendable ladders we have with a rope. And he says the delivery was like 3 hours away from Calgary towards Saskatchewan, very far. So it's probably, I don't know, 200 kilometers, 130 miles. And he says one of the guys, they did not use the ladders properly, and one of the guys fell down. Well, basically the ladder fell down with him on it, and it hit the power line, and he got electrocuted, went into a coma. And then there was a guy on the ground that when that ladder went down, it touched him while it was sitting on the power line. So that guy got electrocuted, but didn't go into a coma, so I guess he survived, but probably the first guy died. You know, so that stuff can be dangerous if you don't know how to use it. Oh, that's a nice business, actually. It's storage. See, the guy, all you have to do is just get a piece of land, level it, put a fence around it, and you're in business. And put some signs up. I was thinking maybe you know, if I win some money in a lottery, maybe I can open like a truck stop, you know, because there's not enough truck stops here. Like, people are sleeping, I see they're sleeping on the side of the road, you know, especially in my area over there. And I think well, there's a Flying J, but it's pretty far in the bottom, whereas all the industrial companies, you know, where trucks would go to load and unload, they're all in the north, more or less, like near the airport. Well, actually there's a lot of them in the south as well, but I think a truck stop would be nice, you know, because I know exactly what I'd be looking for, right? Since I spent so much time at truck stops, all you need is a nice parking area, couple of staff to clean it up, take care of it, and then of course you need a restaurant, you need a store, so people can buy, you know, like essentials and maybe lotteries, and have a deli counter and hire a cook. except of course a lot of truck drivers are pigs, so there'll be bottles of pee everywhere. Well, I would set up some portable toilets. So, you know, if it's a big truck stop and they don't want to go to the actual building, maybe there should be like some portable toilets. But it gets very cold here in winter. But I remember when I worked in Drumheller and I was moving those toilets occasionally, right, with a skid steer. I remember some of them were like fancy, like of a fancy variety, because they had a engine. No, not an engine. They had the input for a generator, and basically what you do is you park a little generator next to it, and you plug in the cord, and that porta potty, or toilet as they say United Kingdom, stays warm inside. You know, I remember the weather was like -30, super cold. You go inside that toilet, you know, you get hot because it's so nice inside, you know. Uh-oh, we have a bunch of trucks hitting the ramp. One of them is a double tanker, the other one is either a container chassis or a flatbed, and the last one is a dry van, or can be a reefer. And of course they all have 3 axles, since we are in Canada. Okay, is this drive-in? Oh yeah, it's a drive-in. Here's a dump truck, 6 axles. Here's a bobtail guy. I hope he knows that he lost his trailer. And then we have a FedEx truck. And ahead of him is a double tanker. Uh-oh. Well, thanks God it's finally daylight. It's kind of a, like, I like driving at night now, but not when it rains, you know, when everything reflects light, it's hard to see. All right, almost there. We're 17 clicks, 10 miles away. Nice looking Ram truck. I had that one, but mine was just a 2-door, you know, basic workman's kind of like edition. It had a 5.7, same engine I have now in the Durango. I lost contact with my British friend, because we used to exchange messages almost daily on WhatsApp, and then one day WhatsApp says we have an update. Would you like to update the app now? I say okay. So I updated it. Open. Okay, I open it, and all my chats that usually were at the top disappeared. You know, so I had to go manually into contacts. Like this friend from UK disappeared. I had to find his contact, add it to WhatsApp, and send him an invite again. I don't know, why do I have to do that? Lost my late mom's messages, but then I found them. So yeah, sometimes these updates can make things difficult. You know, why did I need an update? Everything worked fine, you know. I could text, I could record messages, I could call people, but then they rolled out some stupid update that removed all my chats. And wanted to mention an important discovery I made about my iPhone. I've been using iPhones probably, I don't know, 5-6 years now, maybe more. I started with an Android, you know, when the smartphones came out. My first one was an Android, and I got super used to it. Then I got an iPhone, and everything is different on the iPhone, right? And I didn't like it, so my next phone after that one was an Android again. But then, since I have a MacBook, you know, all my computers are Macs, I got back to the iPhone. But one thing I never could figure out, stupid little thing, but when you type, let's say you wanna type a word in all caps, I could never figure out why when I push that shift button, you know, with the arrow like this, it doesn't want to stay locked. Like on an Android, if you touch that shift button and you hold it for a couple of seconds, right, it changes color and your caps are locked. All you have to do is just hold it a little bit, right? I still remember. And then you can type, let's say, you know, some word that you want to stress the importance, you know, like I'll be there tomorrow. Let's say you want to spell tomorrow in all caps for some reason, so you hold the shift button on an Android, all letters become large or caps, then you type, and then you touch that shift button again to cancel the caps. That's it. On an iPhone, you can hold that shift button for 2 hours, nothing will change, all the letters stay small. So all I had to do, so until yesterday, let's say I want to do the same, type tomorrow in all caps, I would hit shift each time, shift T, shift O, shift M, shift M, and then finally I had enough of this, and now we have AI. So I go to Google and I say, how do you lock caps on an iPhone? After, like, I don't know, 5 years with iPhones or 10 years, so finally I found the answer. You double tap. Like, why they cannot make it the same? Like, why? Like, to me, the more logical way would be to hold this. No, on an iPhone, and I tried it and it freaking works. You double tap it, all the letters. No, wait, this is airport. All the letters become large. I see flashing lights and a green band, and this guy's gonna get a ticket because that's a speed camera.
In 2 kilometers,
Car.
take exit 68 onto Country Hills Boulevard.
Those idiots, they like sitting in construction zones when the speed limit changes. See, like this car on the right? Drive safe. And then you look inside, there's a cop with a bunch of cameras and a radar. But he can only get you from the back, because in Alberta we only have one license plate on the rear. So I wonder what kind of focal distance his lenses are, but now we are like a kilometer away. I highly doubted that he would give me, I would get a ticket. But now that the construction zone ends where this temporary fencing ends. And actually that's
Use
my
the right lane to take exit 68 onto Country Hills Boulevard.
actually that's my exit. Yeah, I'll show you guys this new area. It's not new, but it's amazing how quickly everything changes. You know, like 3 years ago when I moved into this area, the area where I'm going, east of my place, was all empty. It was all fields. Now they have 4-story condo buildings, a bunch of houses, you know.
Use the left lane to keep left onto Country Hills Boulevard West.
And like, as you notice, there's lots of little like mini lakes around here. So
Left, then take the first left onto Country Hills Boulevard Northeast.
so ducks have a time of their life.
At the light, turn left onto Country Hills Boulevard Northeast.
And now it's -1. Well, we're going backwards. We started, actually, yeah, we started at -1. So today should be a good day for Uber, because it's gonna, the highest
About
today
1.5 kilometers, turn right onto Cornerstone Boulevard Northeast.
I think will be like +4 only, which is what, 33, 34F. And now we're crossing over the bypass 201. 2 lanes in each direction here.
In 1 kilometer, turn right onto Cornerstone Boulevard Northeast.
And this is pretty much my area. Like at second light there's a Freshco supermarket. That's where I go to get
Go
my
past this light, then at the next one, turn right.
Chinese dumplings. And it's been a while since I had some vareniki, pierogis. You know, they are potatoes,
At the light, turn right onto Cornerstone Boulevard Northeast.
potatoes and onions inside. But I'm kind of like on a diet, right? Still trying to lose a couple of pounds. Yeah, this is all new, by the way. This is probably like a year old. So now, yeah, this Chalo Freshco, Shoppers Drug Mart, Dollarama, Tim Hortons. But this area gets super crowded.
In 1.2 kilometers, at the roundabout, take the second exit.
There's another store, like this one is big, but there's another store closer to me, which tiny, but it's easier to find parking. It's less busy than this one. So all this, I remember, was when I came in 22. I would do like a loop, you know. I would go for a run, and these houses here, they look exactly the same. Like, I saw foundations, and some Indian guys were working, building those steps, and there was still a hole in the ground. So half of these were missing in 22. They were still under construction. nice sound from that blue Mustang. Oh, these look interesting. Much better than, oh, actually these are okay too. But those were ugly, I think, houses. These are much nicer. Because they have, like, especially this, you see, like light gray, cream color. And these are the buildings I was talking about. Like there was a field.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
So now they build this kind of like a little recreation area, and they build these. When I moved in 22, these were not here. These two nice looking condo buildings. Look at this. Like they finished them in I think in a couple of years.
In 600 meters, turn left onto Corner Glen Gardens Northeast.
Yeah, so this is Corner Glen, north of 128 Avenue. And they're still building stuff over there. See, this is all finished. But now we're going to the very end. This is north, where I'm gonna pick up my small load of scaffolding. So just 2 frames, I think 2 decks, 1 brace, 4 casters. It's like same as what my boss is taking to Cochrane.
Go past the street, then turn left onto Corner Glen Gardens Northeast. Turn left onto Corner Glen Gardens Northeast. Then
So
take the
these
first
are,
right onto Corner Glen
I saw
Gardens
signs that say that you can buy a brand new one, like, you know, pre-construction would be
300 meters, turn left onto Corner Glen Square Northeast.
around 750,000 Canadian. And these are simple homes in what considered not a very good area, northeast. Here,
Turn left onto Corner Glen Square Northeast.
Here
then
the-
take the first left onto Corner Glen Grove Northeast.
here the prices are the lowest. You see, like here, boom, that's it. So the houses end. So now there's dozers and there's excavators, and they're leveling the field, preparing it for more homes.
Turn left onto Corner Glen Grove Northeast. Then arrive at your destination.
Okay, Corner Glen Grove. Okay, so that's what I need. And of course, we see a truck with drywall, 4-axle monster. Normally that's what I would deliver, you know, if it's if I see a truck like that, usually because our customer is a drywall guy, right? So, and quite often we like fighting because they're putting this in the top window and they have that tape all around, so, you know, and it's scary. You have to stay away from the crane, right? Alright, but somewhere on the street is my place, so usually they put it in the garage, so I just have to, let me just look at my paperwork to double check the house number. Oh, this is 178, 174. Okay, so odd numbers should be here, right? These are even and they get smaller. Alright. Well, turns out there's no garage in the front, and so I couldn't find the scaffolding, and then I saw it in the back here, so I had to go into this back alley, and they stacked it in the back of the house. Actually, there's no garage here either. I guess they were just doing the basement. So these are some cheaper houses that I guess they don't have. Yeah, there's no garage. Oh, I know, they're gonna build them over here, probably. You see? Or maybe they'll just keep it as no, they're gonna build garages here. Oh, and here. Oh, okay, so the area where I was parked, this will be all these little structures here. So actually it's, well, it would be nice to have a housing domik. It would be nice to have a little house like this. Well, it's huge actually, but you know, if when my apartment goes up in value and I can sell it for profit and pay off all my credit cards and stuff like that, I would love to have something like this but I would buy an expensive one with a walkout basement. Like I have a plan, okay? That's my final way to get some money for retirement, because these of course go up in value much more than a condo apartment where you don't own the land. Like you buy a house like this, especially in a new area like this where, you know, they're still working, you know, on bringing more stores and stuff like that, they would definitely go up in value, right? Of course you have to live with all that construction noise and dirt, but that's how people make money. You buy a house in a new community which is just getting started, and then you live in that house, and this is your principal residence, so there's no income tax, you know. And all these are what I call them plywood houses, right? They look nice, but the siding is super cheap. Another hail, there'll be holes like this in the siding on the roof. I don't think they changed their you know, protocols or anything like that after that big storm in 22 that damaged my Jeep Compass. But yeah, I would sell that apartment in a heartbeat, even though I love it. I love living on the ground floor when my parking is 3 steps away from my rear door, and I love having 2 entrances. So I pretty much never use the main entrance from the hallway. I always come from the street where I park my car, you know. But of course, in Calgary you need a garage because the weather can be unpredictable. We get these crazy summer storms, you know, with hail. So yeah, I would love to have a house where I can, so I would need double garage to park my 2 cars. And somebody asked me why I don't sell the Compass. Well, if you look up all the videos, just search for a Hellcat as a keyword, and I couldn't pay for that one anymore, right? Because I didn't have a good job. My income was very low, so I kept borrowing money from my line of credit, and eventually I said, that's it, I gotta stop. And so I traded that one in just to get rid of it, and I lost a bunch of money, and they just slapped it on top of this Compass, and so I was upside down on the Compass from day one. And now it has hail damage, and I did a smart thing. I took the payout from the insurance company, but I did not fix the car. That was stupid, but what do you do? If I was very smart, I probably would not become a truck driver. So, you know, I probably would be a nuclear physicist or a brain surgeon, but instead I'm kind of like a truck driver deep in my heart, right? So I'm not very smart. And so yeah, I cannot sell that one for another maybe 5 years. Then eventually it's going to be paid off because I keep paying for it, right? So eventually I'll get rid of it. But it's a nice car, actually. I like it. Like, I wanted to drive it today to work because it has half a tank of gas, whereas my Durango needs gas. But then I remembered that I would have to move a bunch of stuff from the Durango. Like, I have my hiking boots in there for the gym, right? I have cable for the phone. I have, you know, stuff. I have gloves in there. And so I said, okay, I'll just drive the Durango. And actually this is the road I take every day to work. And this is nice little shopping area there. Pizza Hut, Subway, liquor store, Esso gas station. Gas or petrol today is $1.35.9, but over here it's always expensive. Like, I'm pretty sure if you go south, it'll be like, I think yesterday I saw 129, 128, 127, I think I saw. And this Pizza Hut is super expensive. When I feel like pizza, which I do very rarely nowadays, but there's a place called Cal City Pizza. I guess Cal is for Calgary. Super nice place, same quality, you know, pizza, and they have like 20 different types you can order. Very nice girls work inside. They're fast, and it's way cheaper, probably, I don't know, $10 cheaper than here. Like, I had a large pizza, thin crust, go easy on the cheese, all meat, basically meat lovers pizza with light cheese, large, and it was $19. Like, here it would be 30, or especially Boston pizza. Boston pizza is very expensive. And this is Métis Trail. And if you go here, after the next light, there's a ramp to 201 bypass. And that pole over there. So here you have the rotary trail. A couple of times when I had that folding bike, I went to work on a bike, and it's like a sidewalk over there, but it's not very good because you have to jump on and off the curb, because they build roads in here like there's nothing. There's no houses, no warehouses. We're in the middle of the field, and yet they have these roads, signs already installed. See, like here it says right lane, turn only, and then people were parking their trucks, and so they blocked it off with concrete barriers, and it's not going anywhere. It's a dead end, but they paved it. They built the road to nowhere. See, same here. No, this is just kind of like a little cul-de-sac for some reason there. But here on this corner with Barlow Trail, something is already going on. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be houses, lots for sale. Yeah, more houses coming up here. Or maybe it's no. It looks like it's gonna be a large building, like a condo building, judging by those poles in the ground. Here's an auction place. I keep wanting to call them and ask if they need any workers, but I'm okay at this job. The money is okay. See, they start from here, and everything else is empty, right? It's a big, not as big as the Ritchie Brothers, but quite big, and he has auctions like every month, I think. Yeah, I see they're pouring concrete in there. This is the shell I go to when I need to clean my car for the rental. But rental died since, you know, I don't want to rent it for cheap, right? So I added $50 to Turo's dynamic pricing. But now Otherwise they would offer my Durango for like 75 bucks a day, which leaves me $50. No, not worth it. People putting too many kilometers, scratches, there's rock chips in the front now because they like driving in some crazy mountain somewhere. It's an expensive car. Was MSRP was 75 grand. I got it for 68, so I'm not gonna rent it for less than, like, my price now is so like I said, 50 bucks on top, so now it's like 125 a day, and I don't have any booked trips because everything is super cheap now. Well, I'm in the Freightliner, so I brought that scaffolding. Asked them if I need to unload or keep it. They said unload, okay. And then I jumped into the Freightliner with that preloaded boom lift. Dropped it off. Like I'm in a midtown. What is this? 34th Avenue, Northeast. And that was my stop 1, and stop 2 I just picked up a mid-size scissor lift. And the deck is slippery because it's +2 now. Everything is melting. There was a little bit of snow before, right? But it's wet, and so of course the scissor did not go by its own power, so I had to winch it up.
At the next light, turn right.
And now we're heading to stop 3, which also is another scissor lift. I think it's a small one.
At the light, turn right onto 32nd Avenue Northeast.
Yeah, this is 32nd Avenue. Very nice. There's a very nice shopping center here. I used to spend lots of times. There's a Starbucks. There's London Drugs. London Life is the name of the insurance company I used to work for when I came to Canada. Oh, by the way, the other day I had a guy, I was doing Uber, I picked up a guy in downtown. He was going to the airport, and we started talking, and turns out he works for Manulife, which is the biggest now insurance company in Canada. And I said, hey, have you ever heard of London Life? I said, I used to work for them, but then I was kind of like Googling, trying to see where they moved, because I remember that we were in the building in Scarborough, east side of Toronto. But then that sign, you know, I stayed in Toronto for many years after I left London Life. And it was, you know, it was a good company, but I couldn't make any money. Nobody wanted to buy insurance from me. Well, other new guys were struggling as well, and this guy says, oh, they changed the name. He says they were bought out by Great West Life, and then Great West bought Canada Life, another insurance company. So Great West, you know, it's like deep pockets, so they bought London Life and Canada Life. And he said, and then they changed the name, the entire new company. Instead of Great West, they took the name Canada Life. And so he says, now the company you worked for is part of Canada Life. And there should be a truck stop over here somewhere. I spent some time there when I used to come. Yeah, this great area, you know, to spend your downtime at, because there's so many restaurants and there's lots of, you know, shops and stores, you know, you can check out. There's a Chipotle Mexican Grill, Paul's Pizza, Smash Burger, McDonald's, Wendy's, and then on the left side where the torn flag is. I think it's torn. Maybe not. No, looks okay. That's the truck stop. I think I've been here. When I still lived in Ontario, I think I parked here a couple of times. See, now it's half empty. Trucking is not doing very good now. There was another interesting article on this. So basically now I was just thinking about, you know, when I read that article, I got super lucky that I was able to sell my truck and trailer with all that multiple axles and the Jeep and the booster right after COVID for great money, and actually I made a profit. Because now that article I just read says that, you know, trucking is in the toilet, and all the prices on used trucks and trailers are down. Like, for example, dry van trailers, right? They cost crazy money. Just 3 years ago, you know, like a dry van would, people want like 80,000 for a brand new one. Now you can buy a 3-year-old dry van for like 20,000. I don't know if that's US or Canadian, but prices fell down really sharp, you know, sharply. And so I feel real lucky that I got out of trucking when I did. And so now trucking companies go bankrupt, they lay off drivers, not enough work, and salaries are super low. Yeah. See, construction, these guys make money, but it's 12 hours a day, 6 days a week.
In 1 kilometer, turn right onto 12th Street Northeast.
No, I'd rather do this, and then even though Uber and Lyft, they don't pay well, but it's a good side gig, you know. I enjoy talking to people instead of sitting at home, or instead of working, let's say I find a, you know, job at a construction site, even though now it's highly unlikely, but let's say if I was looking, but you know, it's November, right? The construction is slowing down. They're firing people, not hiring right now. But let's say if I did find something, then it's 12 hours a day, right? Which I work now 12 hours a day, but I work here, super nice company.
At the next one, turn right.
Where are we turning? So I love the company I work for, and it's easy hours, right? Like yesterday I got home at they let me go at 3 o'clock, and too bad Uber was not busy. But then, you know, Uber, what I like is how flexible it is. You know, I feel like driving, I drive. I want to take a break, I take a break. You know, it's so much better than, let's say, if I worked
At the light, turn right onto 12th Street Northeast.
if I worked at a, you know, construction site where you have to be there, you know, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Maybe you get 2 breaks. I remember we had one 15-minute break when I was in Drumheller, and I think one was half an hour break. It's much more difficult, you know, whereas here with Uber, Lyft, I like the flexibility. Then I also do photography sometimes, right, on the side, which is also can bring in, you know, a couple $100. Again, it's interesting. I love doing photography. Again, love meeting people. And then
turn left onto 36th Avenue Northeast, then turn right.
And then Turo should wake up sooner or later. Maybe in winter there'll be tourists coming, you know, to do some skiing in the mountains. And now I have winter tires.
Turn right, then take the first left.
Yeah, I've been here before. This is a church, and I see our Caesar. Just finished loading the second scissor. It was all disassembled, you know, the top was down. Lazy people, you know, like when we bring them the scissor, it's always up, right? If you need to take down the top to make it shorter, you know, when they have like low doorways, and quite often they leave it like that. They don't bother lifting up the frames, putting the pins in. But it doesn't need, you don't need any tools. It's pretty straightforward. Took me probably 5 minutes to put it back on because I was looking for the key. There's no key. I tried the door, it's locked. And I see cars in here, so there's somebody must be inside of this church. But also they were doing some work. You see that construction trailer? So maybe those guys used it. But anyway, so they put it outside, but no key. And I have my own keys pretty much to all machines, which is super useful. And I made a note on the paperwork, so if they don't bring it in, we're gonna charge them for the missing key. I don't know how much they charge, but
turn right onto 12th Street Northeast.
And it's the same type of scissor lift, medium size, so they're a bit heavy. So I have two identical machines, which is what, 26. It's 26 by 32, I think, which means that maximum height you can go is 26 feet. And of course the higher you can go, the heavier the machine is, because it needs you know, stability.
Next light, turn right.
So they make the counterweight bigger. So that's it. So now we just go home base, unload the two machines, and go see the dispatch, turn in the paperwork.
At the light, turn right onto 32nd Avenue Northeast, then take the first right for Highway 2 North.
And find out what I'm doing next. And actually I might take a break now, but usually, you know, I don't bring any food, so I did a couple of times. It's more hassle than it's worth. So instead, I like taking a break on the way.
Use the right lane to merge onto Highway 2 North.
On the way to or from a pickup. Like for example, now I see that my ETA is 8 minutes to 11, which is perfect. So by the time I unload, and let's say there's a new load and I'm loading something, it'll be already 11, and then I can leave the base and I can stop somewhere, like, I don't know, Mucho Burrito, A&W, McDonald's, Kinjo, maybe get some sushi. Yeah, probably that's what I can take. Yesterday I had some nice chicken salad.
7.7 kilometers. Take exit 268 onto Country Hills Boulevard toward Delaware.
I see there's snow on the ground. So finally they finished construction here. The speed limit is 100. It was 80 kilometers an hour for probably like ever since I moved here, from 22. So now they added an extra lane, and like this lane ends, but still, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lanes now temporarily. So then this ends, so now we have 4, but things are much better now. Should be less busy during a rush hour, you know, during the rush hours. But surprisingly, a lot of people that were, you know, speeding all the time when the speed limit was 80, a lot of people I catch driving slow, because my suspicion is they don't pay attention to signs. As always, most people don't care about speed limits, you know, no left turn, no right turn, stuff like that. And so you see, like now, okay, I'm doing 90. Pretty sure there's still people driving slower than me, but because I'm heavy, like these two machines, like for this truck, it's heavy. It's probably, I have like 10,000 pounds on the deck now, so each of these machines is at least 5,000. You know, it's a single axle Freightliner. Yeah, I need this lane because this one ends at Airport Trail. See, 100. And then after that overpass, it becomes 110. So you can do 115 and nobody will pay you any attention. So that's, I remember I mentioned this, right? So in a pickup truck, I usually drive 10 kilometers over. In a Freightliner, 5 kilometers over. So I'm so happy that there's no more construction here. It was a pain in the butt because the traffic was crazy, because there were cops, you know, trying to catch people speeding. I see 110, so 68 miles per hour is legal. And now they're talking about raising the speed limit to 120, which is 75 miles per hour. But right now they're talking to people, trying to get the sense if people want higher speeds. But one guy smartly said people already drive 120, so if you increase the legal speed limit to 120, people will be driving 130 or 140, you know. I don't know myself, but I can handle those speeds. Probably I would drive like 125, you know. If it was 120 speed limit, I would drive 125, which would be nice. You can get quicker to your destination, you know. This is after lunch. I had some sushi at Kinjo and loaded two machines. One was a small scissor lift that I already delivered nearby, near the airport. And now I have a very interesting, cute machine. It's kind of like a barrow, you know, barrow that you use to carry, you know, construction stuff like, you know, sand or bricks or whatever, right? But instead of wheels, it has tracks, and it has a Honda gas engine, so you don't have to push it. There's a little step behind, and you just start the engine, and it has controls same as any track loader, and you just two levers, and you just push them forward to go forward, push them backwards to go back, and you can turn, stuff like that. And then there's extra levers the way you can dump, like this whole barrow. You can, let's say you have some sand, you can dump it. It goes up. It's like super useful machine for tight spaces because it's pretty small. And I'm going to somewhere near 16th Ave, west side. It's some kind of like a big shopping center. Call the guy. He says
Turn left.
stop near the hotel. He says there's a Best Western hotel here, and stop near the hotel and look for a white Chevy Silverado 2500 truck. I said, yes sir. I said, ETA 30 minutes. He says, okay.
At the light, turn left onto 14th Street Northwest.
So he's waiting for me there, and he says I have to stop at the hotel because there's a weight restriction. He says you cannot go past a certain spot in there.
In 4.7 kilometers,
Shoot.
right onto Trans-Canada Highway 1 towards Shopping Center.
Turned a bit too sharp. So this is the Nose Hill Park, and as you can see, it started snowing again. So Uber should be great tonight, I'm telling you. The temperature is still 0 Celsius, 32 F. Well, it was -1, but it feels very chilly outside. And I'm 6 kilometers or 4 miles away from my destination. Actually, yeah, in 4 kilometers I turn west on Trans-Canada 1 or 16 Ave, and after that 2 kilometers. That guy scared me. And from this spot, usually you see a very nice, you have a good view of downtown. But now the sky is all, it's white out. And before, there used to be a camera car sitting here all the time, because there's a police station at the lights, and the speed limit changes from 70 to 50, and that's how they catch you, right? So if you are doing 80 over there, then once you hit this speed zone, you are 30 kilometers over the speed limit. That's what they like. 25, 30 will get you a nice little fine. Yeah, this is a police station. Nose Hill Station. Oh, speaking about police, so I got an email from Uber saying that I have to update my background check.
Stay in the middle 2 lanes.
Which is nice because they give you a 30-day notice. They said that my background check expires on December 13th. And so this time I'm not waiting like I waited with the inspection. So I'm doing it, I went online and I did it yesterday, and again I had trouble confirming my identity because they keep asking you these stupid questions, like, you know, like, imagine I used to live in Ontario, right? So some of my bank accounts, I still have accounts that I opened in Ontario, but you know, in Canada, banks, unlike in the States, right? So here a bank has multiple branches all over the country, so it's the same bank. So let's say National Bank as an example, and so National Bank would have branches in each province, in each big city. And one of the questions on this identity confirmation is dealing with addresses. You know, what address, where did you open your account with? And again, they say, I don't bank at National Bank, but I'm just using it as an example. What branch, at what location do you have an account with National Bank? I'm like, holy moly, you know. So I go to the statement, I go to the website of the bank, I find a latest statement, because normally they put the branch address on the statement, but
Red light camera ahead.
there's nothing there. The statement just shows the main address of the bank in Toronto, you know, which just like a mailing address, right? And so I think I got one wrong, and because there was like 4 or 5 questions like this, you know, some asking you questions about locations of your banks, that accounts you opened 50 years ago. well, not 50, but let's say in 1998, 99, 2000, you know, it's like. And so yeah, I got the message saying that the identity cannot be confirmed. Please upload 2 documents. Okay, so I take a picture of 2 IDs, and then they said upload a picture of your face with you holding these IDs next to your face, which is funny, kind of like what Turo does with rental customers. Right before they let me give them the key, they want to see a picture of the person's face with the driver's license next to their face.
In 1 kilometer, keep right onto Trans-Canada Highway 1 towards shopping center.
And so I did that. I didn't see any more messages, and it says here that please do not basically bother us until a full month has passed. Basically, we have high volume of orders. Yeah, they're working very hard. And so, oh yeah, and it cost $75. I had to pay $75. Let's check this out. The guy has a Ford F-150 on the rear window. He has a picture of a grenade. What is that all about? That he's armed and dangerous? I don't know. Okay, so we're getting close to 16 Ave, 400 meters. And then from there, it's 2.4
Go past this light.
2 kilometers?
Then use the right lane to keep right onto Trans-Canada Highway 1 towards shopping center.
This is 16th Avenue.
In about 1.5 kilometers, take a slight right turn onto 24th Street.
It's near the McMahon Stadium. Because the guy was saying something about a stadium, but he didn't tell me the name, and now I know that I'm getting close. There's a huge stadium over there, and I think, yeah, the hotel is on this side. And gas prices went up a little bit. Last week I saw like $1.27, $1.28. Now this Centex regular is $1.35, premium $1.58, diesel $1.45.
In 1 kilometer, take a slight right turn onto 24th Street.
I was at the Safeway the other day, picked up a scissor lift. It's basically a supermarket, like a grocery store. Has nice deli section, great place to stop for a quick lunch. Actually, that's what I did. They had chicken salad in bulk, not the sandwich, but you know, like real chicken salad. I got like a small pot, maybe 250 grams, and then I went and I got a French baguette and some coleslaw and some Diet Pepsi or Diet Coke. It was a good lunch. And the dispatch just sent me, so because I only doing 2 deliveries, they didn't give me any pickups, and normally I text or call before returning empty in case something came up, you know. And I just got a message. They want me to pick up one of those ride-on stripper machines. A very dangerous machine especially in this weather when the deck is gonna be wet. So I'm not gonna sit on it. I'm just gonna hook up a winch, because it goes like this, you know, there's 2 levers and it's super touchy, very sensitive. One of our drivers, I think I mentioned this, he was loading one and it was actually summer, it was dry, and he fell off. Because I think he was trying to get off and his sleeve caught the one of the levers and the machine started turning. And he fell off probably from, I don't know, 3 feet, and he's a big guy, you know. He was crying, he was in a real pain. Not crying like crying, but you know, making loud sounds, basically like moaning. Okay, is it somewhere here? Oh, I'm guessing that white building. Oh, I see a crane. That's some kind of a inn. There's a Icono Lodge, Ramada, Hampton. Oh wow, there's so many hotels in here. Oh, I see Best Western. That brown building is Best Western. All right, so we're gonna go to the, after the next light, I'm gonna turn right on Crowchild and be on the lookout for a white pickup truck somewhere near that hotel.
Go past this light, then use the right lane to take a slight right turn onto 24th Street.
Well, just unloaded the machine. There's a Chevy truck over there. It's parked on the grass on this, like there's hardly any parking over here. So I parked to the side like this, had my flashing lights on. We unloaded right on the side of the road, and it looks like this is the construction site. Not sure what they're gonna be doing. He asked me for a quick introduction, you know, like I used the older one. This is a brand new model. I saw a guy came in and he brought this on a trailer, and I saw he was talking to one of our managers.
At the stop sign, turn left onto 24th
I'm guessing he was doing a sales pitch. And then a month or so later, we had these two brand new machines. Like this one, I checked the hours. It just had 14 hours on the clock. So this is a tricky intersection. So that's the stadium, McMahon Stadium, McMahon.
In 7.8 kilometers, take the exit toward Glenmore Trail East.
So I'm just going south. Yeah, that's my machine over there. Just going south on Crowchild to Glenmore Trail. So it's 14 kilometers and 8 miles. Lots of traffic today here. It's only well, my ETA says 127. I I know these guys. I often deliver for them. Like where I'm going, it's the company name has the word demolition in it. And so once they worked on, you know, we have a chain called Bulk Barn. Bulk Barn, you know, they sell, you know, most of like lots of nuts, you know, seeds. You can buy like some grains and, you know, rice and stuff like that. Bulk Barn. And so there was one, I think it was on McLeod Trail, so it had a fire, pretty much burned down. And so these guys were there for probably, I don't know, a year. And I would bring him a scissor lift, then maybe a bigger scissor lift, then maybe like a skid steer, you know, from time to time. Same location. And now these guys working at a different place, but same general area. Probably also a fire was there or something, because it looks like it's their specialty. And now I'm picking up the stripper. And usually my standing joke is when I deliver this machine, the first question I ask is, did you guys order a stripper? And some of them have no sense of humor, so they, yeah, we did. Some of them start laughing, but that's what it's called on the paperwork. Self-propelled stripper. Floor. Self-propelled floor stripper. Stripper. So I'm working, like, you know, this is a dream job, you know. I'm working with strippers. Downtown is to my left, and you can take this boat trail. I go under the bridge. Yeah, you need boat trail east. I think it's this lane. And you see, that's why I was on this lane, not in the curb lane, because I know only 2 lanes remain after this exit. And so yeah, if you take this, you're gonna hit the downtown. Now we are going straight south. Towards Glenmore Trail. There's a naval base over here. I was here a couple of times. I think I picked up a boom lift. I delivered, and then a few days later they sent me here to pick it up. I thought it was a boom lift. The speed limit now is 80 clicks an hour, 50 miles per hour. pretty good.
Left 3 lanes.
3 lanes. There's only 3 lanes here.
In 2 kilometers, take the exit toward Glenmore Trail East.
Oh, now it's 4. Okay. And here is it's a very tricky exit. Quite a few times when I was new in Calgary, I took the wrong exit. Because here, Glenmore Trail,
Stay in the 2nd lane from right and go past this exit.
there's a separate ramp for west and east. So for example, this one, the sign says east only. But this one is east and west. And what's funny is that the east goes off first, and that's south, so that's west, and it looks like it's going to the west, but instead it goes like this, you know, like it turns to the right and then it goes this way, and it's
Use the right 2 lanes to take the exit toward Glenmore Trail East.
so a couple of times I took this one east when I actually needed west. So west, you have to be in this lane and go to the set of lights on top of that hill and turn right. You know, like a stupid solution,
Take
you know?
the exit.
Like you see from here, when you're new, you're thinking, okay, so the road goes that way. But no, when you get to the top of the bridge, you see that the bridge actually turns this way. So, yeah, once I had the passengers, I was doing Uber, and Uber says, take Glenmore Trail west. Okay, so this feels like west. I go here, and the girl, there was a guy and a girl, and the girl noticed right away. She says, you took a wrong ramp. You see? And it turns this way. And that's the Glenmore Trail. And I said, oh, I'm sorry. And she says, no, it's okay. She says, I did this many times myself. Because it's stupid, you know? It's very confusing. Of course, there's signs, but you know, when you're driving, right? Boom, boom, you just pass them. And this here, there's always something going on here. Because it's another stupid setup. Because you have a bunch of lanes, and then they all reduce to 2 lanes. Because there's a 14th Street exit. So you see 2 lanes here, 3 lanes there. And then at 14th Street, you're left with 2 lanes only. And so people cut each other off, you know, they don't want to wait in line. See, now we have 5 lanes, right? 3 over there, 2 here. And now we'll be crossing Glenmore Reservoir. Nice looking body of water. And so the sign up ahead says, these 2 lanes exit 14th Street South. So now all these people have to merge left, while people over there wants to go here. You know, like somebody who needs a 14th Street exit. Okay. Step 1 is done. 1 lane, I still have to go there. Actually, the guy over there was letting me in, and I don't want to wait until the last moment, because that's, yeah, I see this guy is definitely letting me in. He's slowing down, and he created a gap. Well, thank you, kind sir. So what you get is flash of my rooftop lights, because sometimes it's crazy over here. People wait until the last moment to jump. You see, like, these two lanes go that way, and there's often accidents here.
Keep left.
Like at the very end, when people fly in here and they try to squeeze in here. So you see, I did not lie. So we had 5 lanes, and now we're down to 2.
In 1 kilometer, take the exit toward shopping center and Cloud Trail.
And you can only guess what's happening here during rush hour. All right, here I have to focus, because this here is nuts as well. I have to get to the shopping center.
Stay in the 2nd or 3rd lane from right and go past this exit.
Okay, go past this exit. Okay. Yeah, this is Elbow Drive. So which one I need? I think I need McLeod Trail.
Use the right 2 lanes to take the exit toward shopping center and McLeod Trail.
Uh-huh. This one. A couple of times I took this one when I was supposed to take this. And now we have to be, I think, in this lane. Yeah, because this one goes to the shopping center. That one goes to Glenmore Trail East.
500 meters, turn right onto McLeod Trail South.
Yeah, and this one is McLeod Trail. It's that one over there on the overpass. This feels like freaking London, you know? And this is the Chinook Shopping Center. Like, look at how many lanes of traffic are on the other side, on the ramp. And so here we're going this way.
Turn right onto McLeod Trail South.
Oh, nice looking skid steer. Kubota. Well, we made it to McLeod Trail. Holy mackerel. I have my own lane, but it ends in 100 meters. Might as well. Oh wow, check out this truck here. Oh, it's a pickup truck. He turned it into kind of like, almost looks like an SUV. All right, amber. People are still driving. Red. People are still driving. I have a feeling my place is going to be on the left.
In about 2.5 kilometers, the destination is on your right.
No, on my right. Okay. Let's go to my right. Oh, and here I finally figured out where it was. So there's a nice Ukrainian deli and next to Starbucks. Like there's a Starbucks over there. And right next to that Starbucks, there's a super great Ukrainian deli. It's called Kalinka. And they had a sign on the door saying that if you support Putin's war, you are not welcome here. A nice looking a Russian, no, of course the Ukrainian, and I forgot most of my Ukrainian, so I was trying to speak, but fuck it. So I switched to Russian, and they were like strictly Ukrainian. even though most Ukrainians, they don't speak pure Ukrainian, they speak either Russian or a mixture of Russian and Ukrainian. Like, you know, they would be talking, half of the words are Russian. Yeah, over there I see Kalinka. That's the name of that Ukrainian store. And they sell, like, you can buy borscht, you know, like Ukrainian vegetable soup with beef. But it's all cold. But they had the microwave. I think I stopped here for lunch once. And I got that borscht. And I had some nice, you know, dark or black rye bread, like real Russian or Ukrainian bread. All right, where is this place? So he said it's next to Chick-fil-A's, Chick-fil-A restaurant. There's so many businesses here on each side of the road.
In 1 kilometer, the destination is on your right.
Yeah,
Stay in the right lane.
it's snowing again. Okay, I should start looking for my... Oh, he said there's a black garbage bin. You know how when they do construction, they often rent a large bin. And so he says the machine will be... When you open the door, it's right there. So normally we don't like dealing with equipment inside. Actually, just now, when I delivered that scissor lift near the airport, the guy says, "Can you drive it in?" And he points to the door. And I said, "No, we don't go through doors, sorry." Because basically it's up to my discretion. That's what my boss says. If you feel you can, you know, easily enter without damaging the door, go for it. But if you feel that you can damage something, don't do it. And the door was not too bad, but just out of principle I said, sorry, we don't go through doors. Okay, Chick-fil-A's. I see Chick-fil-A's over here. Somewhere here. Black garbage bin. I see the black garbage bin. So yeah, that's my building. That's what I need. And you see, it helps that the guy told me it's next to Chick-fil-A's. Okay. And so the machine should be in that
Turn right onto McLeod Trail South.
in that door.
Proceed to the route.
But how am I supposed to get it out? Like, there's a curb. Maybe there's a ramp on the other side. We'll go check. I'll just park here.
Proceed to the route. Turn right onto McLeod Trail South.
Shut up.
Destination is on your right.
We're already here. Crazy machine, very dangerous. You have to be super careful with the controls with these two levers. And the Chick-fil-A, man, so busy. See what it does?